We are very excited to release a new feature today called Yield Data Cleaning. And there are many pain points that farmers go through today, and we believe this new tool will resolve them. Some of those issues deal with combine delays and GPS overlaps and inaccuracies. Really common when you have two combines that are harvesting in the same field that may be calibrated just a little bit different, and when you import that data in, you'll see that your yield map just does not look quite right? So this new tool will fix different things. There's going to be two different views that we create from yield cleaning. One is called calibrated yield, which resolves a lot of those issues that we're talking about. And there's one other view that we'll get into a little more in depth called normalized yield. And so you'll see two new views as a result of the clean yield feature. And so to kind of kick things off here, we will start with the crop year and then go to equipment activity on the left hand side. And in this example here, you'll see I have quite a few different jobs being displayed on the screen. Now, in reality, if you do the exact same step here, you're probably going to have quite a few types of jobs to be looking at and sorting through. So just a quick tip for you. You can filter these by clicking on Filter By and choose Operation. And in this example, we'll choose Harvesting and filter by Harvest. And this way we can select one or select all of them at one time. And then down in the lower right hand corner, you'll see your new one button push called Clean Yield. And just a warning here, so if you hit this button right now, if I've got let's say 2 or 20 or 50 different harvest files selected here, it's going to take some time based on the number of files that you've selected. Could take a couple of minutes, or it could take maybe even up to an hour. So do be prepared when you hit that button. Just give yourself some time and let the software crank on these. And when it's all done, you'll have some nice looking yield maps. So to show you a little bit how this looks after you hit the button, we will go to one of our fields, home number 1 field. And you want to get to the map, right? So there's a couple different ways you can get there. You can go to Field Map underneath the Overview area, or you can click on the GIS and that will get you to the same spot. And once the boundary here is displayed, we can go to the far right hand side and click on Show Layers. And right now we just have 2 layers being viewed here, and actually one being selected, being the field boundary. We'll click the Settings button, and you'll see if you go to Task, and then we'll click on Harvest, and right away you're going to notice that we did not take away anything from you. So this new tool only gives you more, it doesn't take anything away. So you'll still see the dry yield, the moisture map, the original data is still there to look at and to analyze. What you'll notice is 2 new views, as I mentioned before, calibrated and normalized. So I'm going to go ahead and click on all 3 of these and go ahead and display them. One more thing, since I'm in the same spot here, just to point out, there is a yield area as well, and you'll see those two new views are also displayed underneath there. Now you can kind of play around a little bit later and kind of see the difference between this and what you're seeing at underneath tasks. There's a little bit of difference there, but just for demonstration purpose today, we'll stick to that one area under task, and we'll give it just a minute here to load everything here, and it looks like it did a pretty quick job. So I'm going to go ahead and open up those different layers, and then that way you can kind of see the different legend and the transparency. We'll go ahead and crank it all the way up. That way everything's viewable on one screen. Go ahead and turn off the two layers for yield cleaning, and just show you the original dry yield map that came from this combine. As we look at this yield map, you can see that there are issues here, right? Like our corners, we've got some data, some GPS errors. It's showing bad data that really shouldn't be, and we're going to clean all this up, right? It actually did it already for us just by, I'm going to uncheck that view and go to our calibrated view, which is our clean yield map. You can see it did just that. It fixed up a lot of the corners for us. It didn't smooth out anything. If you zoom in, I mean, it looks like a smooth map, but in reality, those are still points. It's just that it went ahead and fixed all those points for us. If we want to go back and view the original one, I just go ahead and click on that. And this way you can kind of see the difference between the two. I think that's great, being able to overlap them and just toggle and turn them on and off. And that's the best way to kind of play around with it and see exactly what happened here. The other view here to point out is called normalized. And the normalized is a clean map again, but it actually uses 100 as the field average. Okay, and the reason why we do that is it gives you a great way to compare one crop year to the next. If you did not have this view here, it'd be very difficult to compare your corn yields versus your soybean yields from year 1 to year 2. This will allow you to do that. So we're kind of setting things up from this point forward to allow you to do some normalized comparison of crop years, and that is also a new feature of the software. One more thing to point out, if I go back to the equipment activity, if you want to make some more adjustments to that yield map, you can certainly do that. And this is really nice if you've got two different combines in the same field. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the harvest and click on details. And the new button that you'll notice down below is called Calibrate Settings. So each one of your fields has this. So under Calibrate Settings, this is where we can do adjustments for each of our combines. Now I just have one combine for this field here, but if we had more than one, you would have different lines here, or different rows of data. You can make adjustments for each one of those, and you can also calibrate this by total bushels by changing the number here. So again, just wanted to point that out. A new area to make some adjustments since we're talking about yields, and I think you'll enjoy these new features of yield data cleaning. So please enjoy and let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.